Okay, so this video is just going to show you how to look for wear and tear on the distributor and how to lubricate it. So I've taken the rotor arm off, and we were talking before about the fact that there's this nub here, which is the locator for the rotor arm, and it lines up with this little gap here. So you've got the components, so you've got the condenser there, you've got the set the points there as well, and you've also got the distributor cap as well. So to lubricate it, there's a couple of places. So you've got this felt pad in the middle here. Now sometimes you don't have a felt pad, sometimes you just have a little screw. And what you would do is you would put a tiny drop of oil, this thin oil, into the bit there, just to lubricate the mechanism. And also inside, underneath, you can see round the cam here, there's a gap. So I'm just going to put a little bit in the gap in there to lubricate the inside. Now, the heel of the points goes through a lot of wear. The points open and close about 50 times a second when the car is running. And so putting a little bit of lubrication, a little bit of grease or Vaseline, as I'm going to do, around the cam can just help that. And it's really important you don't put very much, because I've done this. If you put too much on, it stops it from firing. So I'm just going to put it round, and you can rotate it as well as you go, and you can just push it round and put a little bit more on. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit. Okay, so what to look for when you're looking for wear and tear. So this is new, and this rotor arm is new as well. Looking at the rotor arm first of all, you can get a build-up of sort of carbon. So you can see on this one that there's wear. You can see the coloration of it. Now, if there was not a lot on there, you could clean it. But if there was a lot, you'd want to change it. You also get wear and breakage as well. So this piece here can break and stop the connection between it. And we have had it before where the knob inside breaks and then it can't turn as it should. So they're the things to look for with that. And then you've got the distributor cap. Now here's a very worn one. So hopefully you can see inside this one. And you can see that the 4 points where the spark is distributed, there's a lot of build-up on there and a lot of wear. And obviously, as the current is coming through and being distributed to the 4 spark plugs, it's really important that these are as clean as possible and look more like that. And also, distributor caps do crack, and you don't want that. So just make sure that everything here is clean, including the HT lead connections as well. Make sure they're all clean as well. And the points themselves can wear. So here's some points where they are worn. It's very difficult to show on a video, but you get build-up. You get build-up of metal, so you end up with a little lump on one side and a hollow on the other, and you also get a sort of build-up of carbon as well and black on it. Now again, you can clean them, and you should never check the gap on points if they're not clean. But if they are worn, and the heel here is worn, then your best bet is to put new sets of points on. Now it's worth saying that the ignition, because this is what this is, system in a Morris, is absolutely vital to the running of the car. So there are really sort of 4 things that are vital to the running of a Morris Minor. There is the starting of it, there's the fuel supply, there's the ignition system, which is what this is, and there's the cooling system. And the consumables that go into this are cheap, which is always amazes me in comparison to the amount of work that they're doing. So it's really important to get really good parts. And what you're looking for are decent quality parts. And I would say personally, and I think we both agree on this really, that the best parts are probably either from Distributor Doctor online or probably new old stock that you can get, because then you get better components that last longer. You get ones that have a fibre heel, and you also get condensers which have a better quality internals and last longer. And the condensers affect how good the points work. And so if you're finding your points are running out very quickly and becoming very worn very quickly, it's probably because the condenser's not very good. You talk a lot about red rotor arms as well, and this is a red rotor arm, but actually it's not to do with the colour, it's just to do with the fact that Distributor Doctor's rotor arms are red. So when you're looking for a red rotor arm, it's not only about it being red, it's about it being manufactured by Distributor Doctor as well, because they produce really good ones which last a very long time. So don't skimp on these kind of components, because they're absolutely vital to the running of a distributor and also of your Morris Minor as well. So that's the end of that one, and I will do the other videos on how you take this apart and put it back together.